Sitaram devotees.
Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram devotees. Namaste. Allow me to welcome each and every one of you here this beautiful Wednesday evening to this beautiful Nanpral Vishnu Mandir, and allow me to welcome Swamiji here for the very first time to this beautiful temple, and it is a pleasure to be in your company once again. My dear friends, I wouldn't want to take much of your time because the main reason we are here this evening is to listen to the pravachan of Swamiji. So therefore, I'll just give you a few words and then we'll go straight into the message or pravachan of Swamiji for this evening. Swamiji is the head of the Chinmaya mission of Guyana and Trinidad as well. And currently Swamiji is conducting a Jnana Yajna for 108 days at different mandirs across the length and breadth of this country, teaching the entire Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 all the way to the last chapter, the 700th chapter. And every night Swamiji has been expounding very beautifully different verses. So they've started quite a while back, since in January, and tonight is their 58th continuous night of Bhagavad Gita chanting in Guyana. So we are all privileged to be here to join with Swamiji and the entire mission and welcoming them here to this beautiful mandir to be in this beautiful satsang. So without any further hesitation, I hand you over to Swamiji. Bole Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai.
Thank you, Pandit. Pandit has been instrumental also in organizing in several temples. Let us chant the name of the Lord for a few minutes. Radhe 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 Govinda. Sab gaiye. Radhe Radhe. Radhe 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 Govinda. 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 Krishna Mukunda Krishna Mukunda. Bal Govinda Bal Govinda. Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurudevaya Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusantathami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vichal Buddhe पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणे ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। हरि ओम्। श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवः मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते।
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः।
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम।
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की
जय।
We are in the 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This is called as Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means the glory. Means when we look around, and I'll explain to you what is glories also, because Vibhuti in English is very difficult to translate. Now see, you know, to lift this finger, it takes the whole universe of Paramatma. That usually we don't think. But just to lift this one finger, it takes the whole universe. This finger is lifted with energy. And the energy in this universe is that Paramatma only. It also takes intelligence. Because I did not do like that. I did like that. It takes intelligence. And that intelligence is nothing but a manifestation of what we call as Chit, Paramatma. And that Chit, Paramatma, is infinite Chit. And this is just one manifestation of the intelligence that it takes to do this. And also, I just didn't do like that. I held it in place also. I put it in a specific place in space. I didn't put it there or here. I held it right. And it stays also when I put it. That is part of the Maya power called as inertia, for it to stay right there. It is amazing how many things it takes just for this to be like that. Usually we don't think. So anyway, in the final analysis really, it takes the whole universe, because the universe is the seat of all energy. And all energy, all intelligence, all inertia, whether it's sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, guna required for it also, all of them have their source in Paramatma, in God. And so, in the verse we just chanted, Bhagavan is demonstrating his greatness, his glory, because everything is coming from him, everything is sustained by him, everything is supported by him, everything is manifesting because of him. All that together is Bhagavan's vibhuti. Now, how you tell that in English? There's nothing you could say in English. I have to take all those explanations to explain one word. And if Bhagavan's vibhuti is not there, none of that thing could happen. So, this chapter is about Bhagavan's vibhuti. That is called Vibhuti Yoga in 10th chapter. And in this verse which we just chanted, which we finished last night, but just to keep this thread now, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartate, he said. From me all things spring, all things emanate, all things arise. This is verse number 8. Sarvam, matta sarvam pravartate. All things are proceeding only because of me, and they proceed from me, and they continue to proceed in me only. Iti matva bhajante ma bhutha bhava samanditaha. The wise ones understanding. Now see, wise people understand this. That is what he means. Wise people understand how the vibhuti of the Lord is working in this universe. And because we understand it, we are able to really appreciate his greatness. Understanding is required. And Bhagavan tells in the conclusion of his verses and all, that for the one who has proper devotion, he gives that understanding and all. That is what is going on there. But see, I'll tell you our ordinary life, and because we are all born with a tamasic disposition. We are born like that, right? There's nothing to feel bad or anything. See, when we are born, we don't know anything. That's tamas. Tamas is ignorance. Tamas and ignorance are one and same. We don't know anything. So we are born tamasic. And also, if your parents don't say, get up boy, do this, do that, we will just stay there also all day. Tamas. So we are born tamasic, and we are supposed to move from tamas to rajas to sattva. That is our journey. So efforts, in all fields, efforts are made to make sure that we have this journey. We move from tamas, in which we are born, to sattva. Right, and the spiritual field I'm talking about. If you find civilization, or you find society, or you find any institution going in the opposite direction, then something is wrong. We're supposed to move in this direction, from tamas to rajas to sattva. Right. Now, the civilization, this dharma means like Sanatana dharma here, and the educational system and everything is supposed to awaken our mind from this tamas and take us to rajas and to sattva. Now, because human civilization is so poor at this, the whole civilization is so poor at this, what happens is all our education system and everything, it is just designed to tell you, my dear, if you do certain things in the right time and in the right way, you will get your piece of the pie before the other fellow gets it. That is what the whole system is designed to do. You see? So there is nothing in the system in modern civilization, in a modern civilization's education system, which is designed to make us see the vibhuti of Bhagavan. Then zero. Like I was just telling you, your teacher ever told you it is cool? That to move this finger, it takes all the whole universe with intelligence and takes energy and takes everything that the universe gives. They will not teach this type of thing in school. For us to appreciate the vibhuti of Bhagavan, the machinations of the Lord, make this whole universe tick, every atom. That kind of thing is not taught. If anything about the atom is taught, it is because they want you to understand it so you'll know how to make a living down the road. That is all. To make a living. Not to make a life, but to make a living. So, the chapter is now designed to, this chapter, make us appreciate Bhagwan's greatness and his glory and his manifestations and all his things that he is manifested us in this universe. And I will tell you one more thing. Look here. We really do not need Bhagavad Gita to make us do this, But Bhagwan knows that we don't do it. So he has to put it in Bhagavad Gita. If you get up in the morning and you marvel at the sunrise, if you get up in the morning and you marvel at a lotus opening, you marvel at the bee coming to take honey from the flower, you marvel at the black cow eating green grass and given white milk. If you marvel at these things, that is enough for you to appreciate Bhagwan's vibhuti. But that is what I'm telling you. The system in which we are living is not designed to make us do any of these things. You have to get through high school very fast and write your CXC and all that and get your subjects and move on to A-levels and go to university and get a degree and then get a job and make money. The system is designed for that. So that is a poor system we all belong to. In that, the human being is not developed. There is no development of the human being. The human resource is not developed. What is developed in such a situation is the human being is guided into how to get his piece of the pie, and that is it. Finish. Now, after Bhagavan started to discuss his vibhuti in the beginning of this 10th chapter, Arjuna comes to a point now in the Bhagavad Gita where he really appreciates Bhagavan. Now I'll tell you, let me back up a little bit. In the beginning, when Bhagavan was speaking, when Bhagavan started out his Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna really did not have much appreciation for Bhagavan because he thought he was his friend only. Now let me ask you one question. When you go to your Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna 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 Sharanam. When you're in school and you have friends, you really don't take your friends seriously, You know that, you have all gone through that already. Are you tell, are you chup raho, and you give him one tap also. Correct? That's how friends get along. So if one friend starts telling spiritual teaching to the other friend, the other friend will say, why don't you shut up? What do you know? So Arjuna and Bhagavan Shri Krishna started out like that. They are friends. All the way till the 4th chapter, Bhagavan still calls him my friend. So one friend doesn't really take another friend seriously. Even if he's telling a serious thing, he doesn't take him seriously. What does he know? But now, by the time the 10th chapter has come, Bhagavan says to Arjuna in the beginning of this 10th chapter itself, Priyamanaya, it looks like now you have developed fondness for listening to me. Finally, take 10 chapters for Arjuna to develop. Please hold this baby, whoever's baby, this. Right. So, it took 10 chapters for Arjuna to now start. To take Bhagavan seriously. So, the Lord himself recognizes that, oh, now Arjuna wants to listen. And so, he starts telling his vibhuti, his glory and his manifestations and all things in the world like that. And Arjuna gets, you know what he says? In English we say, it's whet his appetite. And now he himself is going to ask Bhagavan to tell more about his glories. Because until and unless a person on the spiritual path has come to recognize Paramatma in and through all things in the world, until he has really applied his mind and really done some good vichar on the manifestations of Paramatma in all things, his journey will not be complete. So Arjuna himself now is going to glorify Bhagavan and ask Bhagavan, please tell me about your glories. And now say I'm using the word glory in English is a very poor word. Vibhuti. Alright. This is now number 12 of the 10th chapter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Param Brahma Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Purusham Shashvatam Devyam Adidevam Vipum. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ahuspam Rishaya Sarve Devarshi Nardastatha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Asito Devalo Vyasaha Swayam Chaiva Pravishime. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Sarvametadritam manye Yanmam vadasi Keshava. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nahi te Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidurdevan Danavaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Param Brahma. Arjuna tells Bhavan, my Bhavan is a respectful form now, you see. Respect is being shown. You can call somebody a boy, or you can say sir. So if you say a boy, is not so respectful as if you say sir. So Arjuna now calls Bhagavan Bhavan. And we can't translate Bhavan as sir also. There is no translation for that in English. Dear beloved, like that you may say, or great one, like that. Respect, a reverential one, like that. He addresses, you are Param Brahma, the supreme absolute reality of this world. Now Arjuna is finally appreciating what Bhagavan really is. This 10th chapter and the 11th chapter, two moving chapters in Bhagavad Gita, because these two chapters really demonstrate the transformation which has taken place in Arjuna. And in the 11th chapter, the next chapter will be in Esukhubo, will not be here, but I'll tell you, he'll be moved to horripilation, all his hair standing on end when he sees the grandeur of Paramatma and all that. So moving chapters, these two of them. And so now he's praising Bhagavan now. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. You are the supreme abode. The whole universe rests in you. Pavitram Paramam. Supremely pure and purifying you are. Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. Or Paramam Purusham also. The supreme Purusha of this world. Like that we can say. Shashvata means eternal, unchanging. Bhagavan is. Divyam. The light, what do you call it? The light that shines all by itself. Swayam Prakasha Paramatma you are. The divine light himself. So Arjuna is appreciating what this Paramatma is finally, and he himself is telling in his own words. Actually all today's verses will be from Arjuna only. But it's good, you know. This, let me tell you, let me clarify a nice thing now which I'll tell. You know, we have Bhagavad Gita and we have Bhagavat Puran. Huh? You have heard these two texts? One is called Bhagavad Gita and the other is called as Bhagavat Puran. So now Bhagavad and the other is called Bhagavat. Right? And you have to get these two things clear. So here, how many verses are there? I'll tell you. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 verses. 7 verses here is actually like Bhagavat in Bhagavad Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita is when the Lord is speaking. And Bhagavat Puran is when the devotee of the Lord is speaking. The devotee of the Lord in Bhagavat Puran, Shukadev is speaking. Shukadev learned Bhagavat from his father, Ved Vyasji, whole Bhagavat, and then he's speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. I'm sure you have heard this story. So because Shukadev is telling to Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadev is devotee of Bhagavan, he is speaking, so it is called as Bhagavat Puran. And when the Lord himself is speaking, it is called as Bhagavat, not Bhagavat. That is why it is very important to get these two names. Otherwise, here in Guyana I've seen also, and in Trinidad I've seen also, we mix up these two like anything. So we should not say Bhagavad Gita. It is not Bhagavad Gita, it is Bhagavad Gita. So, now because Arjuna is speaking here and he is glorifying Bhagavan, it becomes like Bhagavat in Bhagavat. Because Arjuna is a devotee of Bhagavan. Now he is demonstrating he is such a great devotee of Bhagavan. And now he glorifies the Lord like anything here. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, like that. You are the supreme absolute reality of this world. Now only I have come to realize. Adi Devam, the first primordial Lord, as though the Lord that precedes everything. Adi Devam. It is because the Lord exists, the whole universe exists. Means, had there not been a Lord, like for example, if there is no clay, how you will make a clay pot? The clay has to be pre-existing, then only you can make a clay pot. Like that. So if there is no Lord, which is of the nature of pure existence, then we cannot see anything existing in this universe. It's called Adi Devam, Ajam, unborn. Lord was not created or born at any time. Ajam is called. And Vibhum, all pervasive. Lord is here, there and everywhere, not absent in any place. Ahuhu, Tvam, Rishayaha, Sarve, Devarshi Naradatsata. He calls now several, all these Devas and Devarishi and all of them, Rishis and all, they all speak about you like this. Arjuna is telling now. They all speak about you like this. Now see, Arjuna knows all of this. But I'm telling now, it takes him for granted. Because friends takes friend for granted. He tells, Devarshi Narada, Devarishi Narada, he speaks about you like this, which I have just told. Asitaha, Asita was a Rig Veda Rishi. He speaks about you. Devalaha, Purana Rishi. Vyasaha, Ved Vyasji. Swayam cha eva bravishimi. All of them speak about you, and you also spoke about your own self just now, telling that from you everything has come. Swayamcha, you yourself spoke about your greatness. Sarvameta dhritam manye. I consider what you have said and what all of these rishis have said about you, your greatness and your glory. I consider it all to be true. Yanmam vadasi keshava, which you have told to me today. Nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danavaha. And it is true that nobody knows you properly. Not deva, not danava. It is true that I told, well, you were not there last night, but we have a finite mind and Paramatma is infinite. How your finite mind will know the infinite? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great guru of Swami Vivekananda, gave a nice example. One day, a salt doll, a doll made out of salt, was sitting on the edge of the ocean and wanted to know the depth of the ocean. Here is the shore. The salt doll is sitting here and there is ocean. And the salt doll wants to know the depth of the ocean. Well, from sitting here you can't know the depth. You only have to go in the ocean. And when the salt doll dived into the ocean to find out the depth, then what happened? Well, that also. The salt doll melted away and there was no doll left to ask any question about what is the depth of the ocean. The doll became one with the ocean. This is an example, very famous example. In the very same way, Devaha, Danavaha, Rishayaha, nobody, no Rishi, Deva, Danav, nobody could know Paramatma. What we could do is like the salt doll. From sitting here we can't know, but we can merge with Paramatma, like the salt doll merged with the ocean. Because the finite mind cannot know the infinite. That is the idea. Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Dev Vidur Devana Danavaha. Bhagavan, Arjuna also calls. They just previously Bhavan, not Bhagavan. Bhagavan means Bhagavan. Hey Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the 7 case only, 8 case, Sambodhan case we call in Sanskrit for Bhagavan. Like if you have to say in Hindi when we say Oh Bhagavan, that is Hindi, that is not Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, if you have to say, you can't say, Oh Bhagavan. In Sanskrit, you have to say, Hey Bhagavan. It's a little slight difference between Hindi and Sanskrit. Hey Bhagavan, Oh Bhagavan. Like that. So this is Arjuna is telling like that. Hey. But it is said that Bhagavan has 6 qualities. That is why he is called as 6 bhagas, they call it. Jnana Vairagya, knowledge and Jnana Vairagya means knowledge and dispassion. That is what Bhagavan. And Shri. Shri means Bhagavan has all beauty. You could say Shri also means wealth. But Aishwarya. Aishwarya means wealth and greatness and fame and all of that also. Sometimes Yasha also comes, fame, separately. And bala means power Bhagavan has. So like that, all such qualities in different places, different Sikhs are given. But Bhaga means six, Bhagavan means he who has 6 bhagas, like that. So, Arjuna addresses Bhagavan as Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan. Then he continues. Arjuna is glorifying Bhagavan. Bhagavad is going on in Bhagavad Gita, like as though. And more in these 2 chapters especially. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Swayameva Atmanatmanam Vedhatvam Purushottama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpate, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Swayameva Atmanatmanam Vedha Tvam. Hey Purushottama. The Purushottama word is being used by Arjuna. It will come in 15th chapter. Bhagavan will use this word himself that time. But Arjuna is already using, calling him as Purushottama. O Purushottama means the supreme most being. The Uttama means the best. Uttara, in English we say good, better and best. So in Sanskrit also, better and best is Uttara and Uttama is best. So Bhagavan is Purusha Uttama, the best among all Purushas, human beings in the world. Because he is a human being who knows his infinite nature. Means human being is a lesser term, but best among all beings, like that. Only you, and that's very interesting. Just now we said Devas, Danavas, Rishis, nobody could know this Paramatma because we all have this finite mind, right? So then who will know Paramatma? Arjuna surrenders, only you could know you. Only you can know you. None of us cannot know you. Swayameva Atmanatmanam. Only you by your own self could know your own self. We really don't know. Vetha. Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha. Bhuta Bhavana means from whom all beings have come. All of us have sprung from Paramatma only. We have not come from somewhere else. One place I had gone in some temple, one person was saying, they made children. They made children. We should never, that is human, what you call Ghamand. Ghamand means false pride. That I can make children. Arey, look here. A mother and a father who, so to speak, bring children into the world, I am telling, that mother knows nothing of what is going on in her womb. Not a single thing. What is going on in that womb. That mother did not make womb also. So, we should never feel, no, I make children. That kind of Ghaman is antithetical to spirituality. We should say, Arey, Bhagavan has set up his factory in the womb. That is all. And he only knows. And see, if human beings say, I make children, then human beings should have been able to determine whether the children will be male, female, whether they will be dark, fair, whether they will be intelligent, unintelligent, whether they will be whole or born with infirmities, but they should be able to tell all of this, isn't it? But a human being could tell any of this? Zero we could tell. So, this in English language, we say like that, I make children. But you just have to do a little bit of, reflection on the term. Bhagwan is the one from whom all things are coming in this world. And he will dictate who will be like what and who will come like what. Like that. We cannot dictate any of that. So it says, Bhuta Bhavana means from whom all beings have come. All things in the universe. Right? That he himself had just told, Matta Sarvam Pravartate. All things have come from me. And Bhuta Ishaha. Bhagavan is also called Bhuta Isha, the Lord. Now see, Lord means what? He is the one who has ultimate mastery and control over all things in this universe. Bhagavan only. See, you can control how many things in your life? We really cannot control much in our life, isn't it? Like this morning I got up and I was sneezing and having runny nose. Right? When I got up today. Now that also I can't control. I cannot tell my nose, stop running. But in English language, have you thought about this thing? Nose run and feet smell. I thought it was supposed to be feet run and nose smell. But in English language, it's a very funny thing. Nose run and feet smell. That thing is ulta. Anyway, so I cannot control a small thing like a runny nose. But the Lord, we call it Bhuta Ishaha, is the master of the universe, controls every single atom vibrating in this universe. That Lord. Bhuta Isha, Lord of all beings, ruler of all beings. That is Bhuta Ishaha. Deva Deva, Devasya Devaha, the Lord of all lords. So, because in this world, people have all kind of lord, na? We have landlord. People have landlord, and we have drug lord. Have you heard? Landlord and drug lord. All kind of lord in this world. So for many people, money is lord. Right? Power is lord. Like that. Influence is lord. So the world has all kind of lord. And then we have all these devatas. Indra, Agni, Vayu, Ityadi, Varuna, and all of them. Right? But Bhagwan, here, Arjuna is telling, Bhagwan, he is the Lord of all lords. Supreme reality, that's how he started. Deva Deva Jagat Pate, the master of the whole universe. Like that. Jagat Pate, Jagat means this whole. Jagat in Sanskrit means Jayate, Tishtati, Gacchati. It has 3 letters. Jagata. Ja means that which is born. No, so this Jagat means this world, right? So you see things being born. Like for example, this was not there 25 years ago. It came into being, right? Whatever it is. So called Jayate, Ja. Then Ta, the Ta part of it, Tishtati, means stays for some time. Then Ga means Gacchati, it goes. This is nature of the Jagat. And everything in the Jagat is like that. It is born, stays for a little while, and gone. Here today, gone tomorrow. That is called Jagat. So he is the Jagat Pati. Pati means the master of the whole Jagat, Bhagwan. Arjuna continues. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Vaktumarhasya sheshena Divyahyatma vibhutayah. Hare Krishna, याभिर्भूतिभिर्लोकान् इमां स्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय. वक्तुम अर्हस्य अर्हसि अशेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्म विभूते. See, Bhagavan was just talking about his glories for Arjuna. So Arjuna is saying, Prabhu, it is most fitting that you talk about all your glories for a number of reasons. One is, only you know all your glories, or with our little finite mind, we cannot know Paramatma. Tulsidas ji tells, I told you that already. We cannot know the manifestations of Paramatma. What to talk about Paramatma itself? This world itself, we cannot know. He says at one place, how nicely. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
चरित राम के सगुण भवानी कर की न जाई बुद्धिमान वाणी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
अस विचारी जे परम विरागी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
राम ही भज ही सर्व सब त्यागी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
राम ही भज ही तर्क सब त्यागी.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. Arey, but who is the best person to speak about the glories of Paramatma? Because he himself knows everything about himself, isn't it? Everything we say is just some, what we call estimation. With our little intellect, we can only estimate. Like the pond frog and the ocean frog. So Swami Vivekananda ji tells about a pond frog and an ocean frog. Ocean frog came to visit the pond frog. Visit the frog in a pond. So the pond frog said, where you came from? He said, I came from the ocean. What is the ocean? Ocean is a big body of water. Big body of water. Now how he will explain to him? He jump in a pond from here to there every day. So the pond frog said, is it big like this? And he jumped from here to there. No, bigger than that. Oh, then he jumped from there to big like this now? 10 feet? No, ocean, man, way bigger than that. Like that few times he jumped and he reached the end of the pond. And he asked, big like this? No, this pond is nothing. That pond frog told all the other frog, this fellow lying, I'll throw him out. Because he could never explain, like that to our intellect and all. Conceiving of the infinite Paramatma is way beyond even the manifested universe which we are seeing in front of us is way beyond our understanding. Science is joking only. This civilization will wither and vanish into nothingness before we could understand this universe also. Charita Ram ke saguna bhavani tarki na jahi buddhi mana bani, Tulsidas is writing. Even this manifested universe of Ram. What to talk about the unmanifested Ram? So, that Paramatma who alone, that's why Arjuna said, you only know you. You only know you. So, it said it is fitting that you talk about your glories. Vaktum arhasya sheshena divya hyatma vibhutaya. Only you, it is fitting that you speak about your divine glories and your manifestations in this universe. Yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imam stvam vyapyatishtati. By which you stand pervading this whole universe in such varied and limitless glories. Only you can really speak about that. A devotee has to really reflect on all of these wonderful words of Arjuna to really appreciate Paramatma in all of his greatness and grandeur and glory and infinitude. A lot of reflection is needed. How am I to understand you? But my little mind, Arjuna asks in the next verse. Now see, this is number 17. How am I ever to understand you? Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Katham Vidyamaham Yogin Vam Sada Parichintayan. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Keshu Keshu Cha Bhaveshu Chintyosi Bhagavan Maya. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Now see, the gist of Arjuna's question is just very simple. How am I to think about you? Because my mind is little mind and you are such great infinite Paramatma. How am I to think about you? And this question, if understood very clearly, is very bewildering to a human mind. The mind will feel defeated because where am I to start thinking about this Paramatma? So that's why I told previously, you just get up every day and you look around, see the sunrise, see how a flower is blossoming, see how the bees are operating, because these things Actually, we don't pay attention. We are up early in the morning and we're rushing about brushing teeth and getting ready and going to school and in traffic and this, isn't it? Nobody has time for any of these things. Or another way. See, I've told you, look at the sunrise, look at the flower blossoming, look at the lotus, look at so many things. Or you just take one thing. When you one thing and you study that thing well, it will end only in the discovery of Paramatma. It has to be studied well. But that also we don't do. We don't study it well. Any little thing, like I was telling you now, to lift this finger. How do you think now? How many things? See, let us just trace it a little bit. First, somewhere deep down inside of me, there has to be a desire to lift this finger, right? If I have no desire, I will not lift. So now, inside also, I don't know where that desire has come from. So there has to be a desire to lift that finger. Okay. The desire has to be now willed, and the will have to tell the muscles, lift. Now, if you try to figure out any one of those little things which I just told, any one, like for example, the desire came. First thing, about desire itself, we don't know where it was, where it came from. Well, it just came. Desire to lift the finger. Take care. How was the desire pushed by the will? And how did the will communicate to the muscle? And the communication is so intricate that when the desire comes and I lift this hand, I close the other four fingers and only keep. So the complexity of the message being sent to the hand and the muscles is so specific that when I lift, I say this finger, and I don't lift this finger or this finger or this finger. And I close the others when I do it also. All that is being communicated to the muscles, and it is done with such precision. I tell you, if we take one thing, only one thing in the universe like this, and we study that one thing, if you just think how you can hear me right now, your mind will be blown. There's just one thing. How you can actually hear me and understand what I am telling. Like that, we have to just take that one simple thing and study. But Arjuna is asking a big question. How am I to understand you, Prabhu? That is a bewildering question. Katham vidyamaham? How am I to know you? Hey yogi, tvam sada parichintayan. And remember you all the time. Keshu keshu bhaveshu. In which way can I see you and think about you in this world? Well, a Bhagavan question will be in every single way. Anything you see transpiring in this universe is only me only. It's my glory at work. This will be Bhagavan's message only. Now see, one thing about rishis and avatars and like that, right? They encounter people like us. The rishi or the avatar has such a great, big, vast understanding, and then they encounter people like us. And then we ask the most foolish thing. So Arjuna is asking Bhagavan this thing, now how am I to see you and know your glory and think about you and all that kind of thing. And Bhagavan will spend some verses in this 10th chapter to tell. Now, if Bhagavan spent 15 or 20 verses in the 10th chapter to describe his glories, that could ever describe his glories? 10 or 15 verses could describe Bhagavan's glories or what? Infinite glories? Nothing. But the Lord is left now helpless to answer this Arjuna. Because Arjuna is like all of us. Helpless little children. Arjuna completes his inquiry in number, what is that? The number 18 now. Let's see. And then Bhagavan will start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janatana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Bhuya kathaya triptirhi Shrinvato nasti me mritam.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Bhuya Kathaya. This is Arjuna's request from Bhagavan. Bhuya Kathaya means, Bhagavan, you please, once more you tell. Tell what? Vistarena Atmanaha Yogam Vibhutim Cha. O Janardana, tell in detail your Vibhuti, your greatness and your glory and your manifestation and all how you manifested this world and have this world ticking. You tell that once more. Triptir hi Shrinato nasti me mritam. No matter how much I listen, my mind is not satisfied. Now see where Arjuna has come from where to where. In the first chapter, he did not want to listen to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, he was talking whole chapter. He was talking, he did not let Bhagavan talk. And now he is telling Bhagavan, you please tell me about your glories, tell me all about yourself and your manifestations in this world, your greatness and grandeur and all of that. Because my mind doesn't seem to be satisfied no matter how much I listen. Now he has become a proper Shrota. Proper Shrota. Valmiki ji is telling Bhagavan Sri Ram, you dwell in the hearts of those people. Which people? The people who, after listening to you, listening to your glories, they never become contented. They still want to listen more and more. Shravanam, listening to Bhagavan's glories, is a great, great sadhana all by itself. Tulsidas ji says, from listening to the Ramcharitmanas alone, listening to the Shastra alone, one can get supreme peace. Shravanam is called listening. That itself is a sadhana. So if I can't sing Ramayana, if I can't understand Ramayana, I have still something. I can go and just listen. You see? But Arjuna says, no matter how much I listen now, Prabhu, I'm not satisfied. Please tell me. Now Bhagavan tells, Shri Bhagavan Vacha from number 19. This is called the Vibhuti. He himself is talking about himself now. Some people say, but this Lord is something else, man. He likes to talk about himself. Well, we just gave the justification for that, Only he knows himself. So then who is qualified to speak about him? He only. And then he's not doing it because he feels like talking about himself. He's doing it because Arjuna, the devotee, asked that, like that. So don't feel like the Lord is full of himself, and he wants to talk about himself. We are like that. Human beings are like that. We cannot finish talking about ourselves. And a true devotee, he cannot finish listening about Bhagavan's glories. So now Bhagavan speaks. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Antate kathayishyami Divya Hyatma Vibhutayah.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Pradhanyata Kuru Shrestha Nastyanto Vistarasya Me.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki
Jai.
Nahantate Katayishyami. Certainly, my dear Arjuna, to you now, Katayishyami, I am going to tell about my glories. Means you listen carefully. Hearken, as we say. Listen carefully. Divya Hyatma Vibhutaya. All my divine glories, divine manifestations, the play of my divinity in this universe. Like that. You listen. I am going to tell. Pradhanyata. Now, of course, my dear, I cannot tell you everything. Where is the time? By the time I finish telling you all my glories, you will be dead. And you will have to take another birth and come back to listen. So Bhagavan says, Pradhanyata means prominent glory, some I will tell. That's all he can do. Kuru Shrestha na asti antaha vistarasya me. There is no end. There is no end to my glories, to my greatness, to my manifestation. No, let me tell you one more thing. These type of statements, they are now being shown by all science. This universe and the number, you know, we belong to a little solar system, right? There's a sun here, and then we have 9 planets going around. And this solar system belongs to another bigger Milky Way. Milky Way. And do you know there are trillions. See, we only see from here where we are, we see one little moon there. Right? And one sun. But there are trillions and trillions of moons and suns and planets and all that going out infinitely into this universe. In that grand scheme of things, in this earth, we do not even fit here. As though we are not there also. So Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, there is no end to my manifestations, my glories and all. What are you thinking? And in this world, it's amazing how infinite Bhagavan's glories and manifestation is. And we little human being, puny little fellows, we think that we know everything. And we speak for God also. Amazing thing. That Paramatma who goes on infinitely without end, which science is now confirming also, this universe goes on without end. This is all the manifestation of Paramatma. You see? So, that glory, Bhagavan says, has no end. Na anta, nasti antaha. There is no end to it. And my glory is in this world. Then, no, that's just the cautionary thing. Cautionary means what? I'm going to tell you some of my glories, but don't think that is the end. Don't think that is all that describes me and all. You will never be able to figure it out. That's like, the children asking the parents. He's only 3 years old. He asking the father, why does it rain? Now, how a father will explain why it rains for a 3-year-old? He said, beta, it rains to make the plants grow. Finish. What else he'll tell? It rains to make the plants grow. He'll tell about kinetic energy and all things coming into the water and causing precipitation and this and that. Father will tell her what? For rain? No. It rains to make the plants grow. So Bhagavan will tell, some little things. Don't feel that is the end of Bhagavan's glories and his greatness and all. See now. He starts. Number 20. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Sthitaha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ahamadishya madhyam cha bhutanamanta eva cha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Now see, Bhagavan says, Aham Atma, I am the Atma. And this word has caused a lot of confusion in a lot of people's mind. Atma word. So now let me tell you what is Atma. Atma is the same as Paramatma. Atma and Paramatma is one and same. But why you have two words now, I'll tell you. Paramatma means the supreme being. Now you just imagine with me now, right? All this is water, this is the ocean, let us say. There's water up, water down, water everywhere. Right? This whole big ocean, infinite ocean, with all that water, it will be like Paramatma. Now, you will not be able to distinguish water here from water here because all water is like same. How you will distinguish this water from this water? There are no distinguishing features in this little water here and this water here. But now take a clear glass that you drink with, right? And you submerge it in the water. Now you have here this clear glass. Now inside that glass there will be some water or not? Well, there will be water also because you submerge the glass. There will be water inside that glass. Now you are able to distinguish this water from that water because you have put some distinguishing mark here, which is a glass. That water which is now distinguishable, though still part of the whole big body of water, but now distinguishable by this glass, that is called as Atma. But now you tell me, what is the difference between this water in the glass and all the rest of the water? Same water only. But now it has become distinguishable in the very same way. This body, mind and intellect, this what we call upadhi, in Sanskrit the technical word is upadhi. This upadhi distinguishes Paramatma. And so it has, since it has distinguished Paramatma like the clear glass, it is now called as Atma, which is there in this body. The body, mind, intellect has that capacity to distinguish Paramatma. And when that Paramatma is distinguished by this body, mind, intellect, it is called as Atma. Now please remember, the water in the glass and the rest of the water is one and same. So the Atma and the all-pervasive Paramatma is one and same, like that. So Bhagavan says, I am the Atma, means I am Paramatma. Otherwise usually he will say, I am Paramatma. I am myself the same Atma in every being. Like that. Aham Atma, O Gudakesha. Gudakesha is Arjuna, another name for Arjuna. Sarvabhutashaya sthitaha. There in all beings. Because there is Atma here, there is Atma in you, there is Atma everywhere. And the space also. The space, the Atma is all pervasive. So here the distinguishing feature is this body, mind, intellect. But here the distinguishing feature is space. That is the Upati, the conditioning. You see? So I am that all pervasive Atma, which when taken, looked at from the grand scheme of things is called as Paramatma. That is the idea. Hamadish chavadhyancha bhutanam anta evacha. I am the beginning, middle and end of all beings. Means all beings spring from me. Mayeva sakalam jatam, mai sarvam pratishtam. Mai sarvam layam yati, the Upanishad tells. From me all things spring. You know, like a wave rising in the ocean. And then the wave stays for a moment. And then so beginning, middle and end of all things, I am that. He is telling to Arjuna. I am the beginning, middle and end of all beings and things in this universe. Because all things rise from me, stay in me and descend in me only. This is the idea. Okay. So like that, Bhagavan starts his glory, his greatness from a very high standpoint. But tomorrow and the next day and all, now he'll tell from ordinary standpoint. If you see anything great in this world, like you see a great rishi, like you see a great ocean, like you see a great light in the world, and that is me manifesting only as that thing. So he start talking about ordinary things in the world. Anything great you see in the world, that is me only. Okay, but that will be done tomorrow in another place now. Let me tell you where. That will be done tomorrow in New Anglet Vishnu Mandir, Canal number 2. Canal number 2, West Coast. 7 to 8:30 p.m. Okay. All right. A very special thank you to our dear Pandit Ganesh. He is our, see, a sevak for Sanatan Dharma is a rare thing. Sevak for Sanatan Dharma is a rare thing. See, what we'll have many times is shrotas, but sevaks is rare. And Pandit Ganesh has proven to be such a rare sevak for this Sanatan Dharma. Very, very commendable. Thank you very much for having arranged tonight. The one who does seva for Sanatan Dharma, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Have you heard? He who protects dharma is protected by dharma. All right. Here is a bookmark that we have printed for everybody. Please have one. This is to mark the occasion of 108 nights in 108 temples across Guyana. So this bookmark is printed for everybody. Please have one on your way out. Okay. The grand finale of this 108 nights will take place on the 3rd of May. Please mark the date. All of you are living close to Georgetown. Everybody should come. See, I was now in Berbice. I'm coming from Berbice this morning only. And we had so many nights in Berbice. But it's so far for them to come, right? So they have a good excuse. But you are right here. So Georgetown is very close. It will take place at the Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground on the 3rd of May. Big function, grand finale. All right. We're expecting a lot of people. Please do join for the grand conclusion of this 108 nights. Okay. And now for children here and children in the surrounding areas, in the summertime, we're going to have a Bhagavad Gita camp for children at our ashram just close by. That's an ashram in Manripo. Bhagavad Gita camp for children. Please look into it. Devji and Jina ji, they are here. They are now posted in Guyana permanently. They are the teachers for this Chinmay mission in Guyana, and they will be having several classes in Sanskrit, in Vedanta, in Bhagavad Gita, in Vedic chanting, in Bhagavad Gita camp for the children. So many things are going on. So please be in touch with them. Please meet them now. And they're open for all sorts of teaching. Chinmaya Mission is a teaching organization. We spend our time teaching. So the camp for children is from 14th July to 1st August. So you can send your children to the ashram during those dates. And immediately after that camp, there's another one in Trinidad. And people will be coming from various countries for that also. So you can come there. That is for all adults, children, everybody. There's a big camp. All right. At the ashram in Trinidad, those of you who have the time, please do join. It's called Gurukul Camp. Starts on August 10th and goes to 31st. On the 31st of August, we have a huge vegetarian food fair at the ashram. There will be thousands of people coming to that food fair. So if you come for that camp in Trinidad, you will be part of that food fair also. All right. On the 4th of May, we have a dosa day at the ashram. We'll be making dosa again on the 4th of May here at Monripo. The day after the grand conclusion, our fundraiser. All right. And finally, those people who are interested in studying this Vedanta, please pass on the message to those who you think might be interested. We have a 2-year training, extremely intensive training course for people who want to study Sanskrit and Vedanta and teach Shastras, scriptures. And the qualifications, you have to be 30 and under, you have to be unmarried, and you have to have a university degree. And you will be admitted to the course, and you'll study for 2 years, every single day, no holidays, from 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then you become qualified to go out and teach. So you'll be sent to teach somewhere this type of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad and all that. So if you know people who will be interested, please pass on this word. Okay? All right. I think that's all the announcement. Now we'll have Aarti and we'll conclude. Okay. Let us all stand for Aarti. Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita, Hariya Kamala Vihari, Hariya Kamala Vihari, Sundar Supunite. Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, Jai Bhagavad Gita, Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita, Hariya Kamala Sumarma Prakashi Kama Sakti Hara Maya Kama Sakti Hara Tattva Jnana Vikashini Tattva Jnana Vikashini Vidya Brahma Para Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Nishal Bhakti Vidhai Nirmala Malahari Maya Nirmala Malahari Sharana Rahasya Pradayini Sharana Rahasya Pradayini Sabvidhi Sukhakari Jai Bhagavad Gita Raga Dvesha Vidari Karini Mod Sada Maya Karini Mod Sada Bhavaya Harini Tarini Bhavaya Harini Tarini Paramananda Prada Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Samata Tyag Sikhavan Hari Mukha Ki Bani Maya Hari Mukha Ki Bani Sakal Shastra Ki Swamini Sakal Shastra Ki Swamini Shuddiyo Ki Rani Om Jai Bhagavad Gita Asura Bhava Vinashi Nashini Tamarrajani Maya Nashini Tamarrajani Devi Sadgunadayini Devi Sadgunadayini Hari रसिका सजन दया सुधा बरसावनी मातु कृपा की जय मैया
मातु कृपा की जय।
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
अपनो कर लीज
जय भगवती जय मय जय भगवती जय। हरिय कमल विहारी हरिय कमल विहारी सुंदर सुमुनि ओम जय भगवती जय।
ओम जय भगवती जय
ओम जय भगवती जय।
ओम जय भगवती जय
ओम जय भगवती
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। और वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत। प्लीज ऑल